大家好，我叫 Vero，我的中文的名字是XinHao，我是一个正在学习中文的美国大女孩。今天我来做无人月饼，在几秒钟内，你从下面讲讲的食材列表也可以看得出来，它的味道是极其丰富，给力的果仁，各样的糖浆。加上不同的果脯，都被浓缩在一个小小的月饼中。好，我们必须开始吧。First, you'll need to pick out 5 nuts you want to use, then spread them out on a baking sheet to roast. To make the crust, measure out your oil and prepare to place in a bowl. I will be making this recipe double to show the difference in using inverted sugar and honey. Honey is on the left and the syrup will be on the right. After adding your choice of inverted or honey, you will need to stir. Next, adding in the baking soda water or lye water, and then the salt. I like to use fine Himalayan salt for baking. Then mix and add in 1 cup of flour and stir. Once incorporated, add in half a cup slowly to see if it's too dry, maybe add less. If it's too wet, you might need to add more. And at this point, you need to grab some gloves to knead together the dough. Make sure you save these gloves for later. Once you finish the kneading, cover up with plastic wrap and let the dough to rest for 1 to 2 hours. Next, let's prepare the filling by chopping the dry fruit. My original recipe only had candied pineapple in it. However, since I didn't have enough pineapple, I substituted with a different type of dry fruit. Raisins is one idea. Another idea could be dates, candy orange, candy lemon peel, etc. After chopping the fruit, you can either chop or food processor for a little bit of the nuts. Beware, you don't want to take away all the crunchy texture of the nuts. Then you want to prepare the glutinous rice flour by slightly cooking it on low to medium for 5 minutes. So my camera died, but all you have to do is combine all the inside fillings I listed in the description below together, and that's it. My molds are for 50-gram mooncakes. If you want a thicker crust and a fuller mooncake, then measure the filling and crust equally to 25 grams to 25 grams. However, if you want to make the thinner crust and a smaller mooncake, make your crust 18 to 20 grams and your filling 20 to 22 grams. Once you're ready to put the ball into the mold, roll the ball into glutinous rice flour to help it from sticking to the mold. Then push your stamp to the back of the cylinder before tapping the ball softly and pressing down onto the table on the mold. If your pattern gets stuck, just dust your fingers with rice flour and gently lift it up. Make sure to put an even press to allow the mooncake to spread out evenly. There are many different types of designs of mooncakes. You can buy them on Amazon. That's where I got mine. I've prepared some red bean paste to add into my mooncakes. If you want to add in red bean paste in the middle, just flatten out a nut mixture and add a small spear of paste. I like to freeze my spear to make it easier to put in the middle. Then, to close up the mooncake, just dust your fingers into the rice flour and pinch the top and roll the ball, then finish with rolling it into your hands. If your red bean paste is not cooperating with you by squeezing out on the top, you can just opt to just put a layer of paste first and then the nut mixture second to close. Now that you have finished stamping your mooncakes, you need to prepare the egg wash. These two mooncakes have already been baked. They are both the honey recipe with a thin crust, they both have egg wash, and they both have perfectly cooked bottoms. They both are equally as delicious. The only differences are that the right one wasn't put to broil for 3 minutes at the very end, and the left one was. It doesn't really matter, but for me, I really like my mooncakes to have a bit more color. The first round of baking will be at 425 Fahrenheit for 5 minutes without egg wash. Then the second and third round, you will decrease the temperature to 325 and add the egg wash in between each round. At the last round, make sure you add 3 more minutes to broil the mooncakes. Finally finished. After cooling, you can seal them up in a container for 2 to 3 days to soften the crust and enjoy. I've cut 3 mooncakes for you to see what a fuller and thicker crust looks like compared to a thinner and smaller crust. The bigger one is all red bean paste. The middle one is the 5-nut mooncake, and the last one is a combination of both. The right mooncake is the inverted sugar recipe, and the left one is the honey recipe. I personally like the honey more than the syrup recipe. 你应该慢慢吃月饼，体会每一种果仁味道，你才能感受到它给你带来的奢华和满足。谢谢大家，拜拜。